here. Now broadcasting from the wide open spaces of McClendon Chisholm, Texas, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with the greatest threat to Rockwall County's liberal left, a true conservative and our leader, Bunker Bob.
That's right. Good to have you back. And today is an announcement about the new format for the show, actually the new name for the show as well. I'm Robert Steinhagen, but from here out I will be known as Bunker Bob. This will, as you probably have already seen if you've seen the new YouTube channel, that the name has been changed from Conservatives for McClendon Chisholm to Bunker Bob, and that is going to be the new theme, the new name of the show, and that is basically going to carry forth. So wanted to begin by starting there, and then basically today all I want to do is share with you what to expect and how I'm going to be doing the show from here out. The purpose of the show is going to continue to focus on politics here in McClendon Chisholm, and specifically I'm going to be focusing on the City Council, Planning and Zoning, Board of Adjustment. Now I realize that some of the things that are going on in the city are not that exciting, so I don't plan on going through everything that the City Council or any of these committees do. What I'm focusing on is making sure that we are staying true to protecting the tax rate, to making sure that we're not growing and expanding the size of our city government, at least that it's not happening without our knowledge, and then focus obviously on protecting our open spaces. The question of ending welfare to neighbors of McClendon Chisholm is still very much up in the air. How does the City Council, how do they plan to incorporate what those who live in the unincorporated area of our fire district, who receive fire protection at no cost to them, but you and I pay for it, where more than half of the fire calls and emergency calls go? How is it that they're paying nothing, and since they're not willing to consider, or so it seems, the solutions that I presented as mayor and as member of City Council that I think are incredibly viable and the right solution for our city, I'm curious to see what direction and how they plan, the City Council, that is, how the City Council plans to incorporate that and find a solution, I should say, so that we're not continuing to basically provide welfare to those who really can support their own fire safety, or at the very least can contribute to their fire safety. And then finally, obviously, upholding our city ordinances. I've got two more. Upholding city ordinances. I'm going to continue to focus on that, and restoring transparency. The whole purpose of this show is to be an alternative to the liberal left, to the Rockwall Hilarious banner, which, as we have seen, has no interest whatsoever in facts or in truth. That is a true propaganda machine, as Lenin called them, the useful idiots. And certainly we have seen that is true, and their efforts to defame me and others is going to be basically, we're going to push through and persevere and hope that citizens at least take an alternative point of view to what's really going on in our city, so that they don't think that all is lost. And so that's going to continue to be the focus of this show, and I will continue to bring that emphasis to it. Now, the one thing that most people are saying about the show is it's too long, and I get it. It is too long. It is very long, and I get that most people don't have time to sit through a 30-minute to hour-long show. However, for me to tackle the issues that are going on in our city, I can't just try and give you a 10-second or 30-second soundbite about these issues. We have to deal with the issues one by one, and we need to go deep in many cases. A lot of times there are citizens who really don't understand how the system works, and that takes time to explain sometime, and I'm not going to move away from that. So the goal is to do a show on Mondays and Thursdays. And in those shows, there will be 2 shows on each one of those days. The first show will be the typical 30-minute to 1 hour on average type of show, where I will be hitting, for instance, what is coming up on City Council agenda or what has happened on City Council. And then the second show will basically be a 5-minute recap of what I talked about in the long show, so that citizens who want to know what's going on but don't have the time to really listen to an hour long show, you can get a summary of what's happened. And I will also make sure that as I do a long show, that I will put together in the description of the long show an option or give links. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble articulating this, but links to the portion of the show that I'm talking about on each subject matter. So, for instance, in the 5-minute summary, you may hear something. Hey, I want to know a little bit more about let's just say what this developer is trying to propose, and that's 30 minutes into the long show. So you can go to the long show and find where it is in the time code on the show, so that you can just jump to that and listen to the 10 or 15 minutes that I may be talking about that, so that you can become informed. So that's the objective, is to do 2 shows on Mondays and Thursdays. What that does for us, and the reason I've chosen Mondays and Thursdays is because it provides the opportunity for me to speak to what's on the council meeting agenda, which council meetings are on Tuesdays. It also gives me time to review on Thursdays what happened on Tuesday. So it gives me Wednesday to really kind of see what was discussed and to start addressing some of the issues. The following Mondays and Tuesdays, I'll be focusing and taking deep dives into specific issues that are discussed and going on at city council meetings. And so even though on Thursdays I'll have a long show, basically a recap of city council meetings, planning and zoning or board of adjustments, I'm going to take the following Mondays and Thursdays to provide focused attention on a subject matter or on an issue that's coming up, so that you can get a sense of what you need to do as a citizen to be heard, and whether or not action needs to be taken by citizens to, for instance, come to city council meeting and speak out against it, write an email or a letter, or whatever you think is best for your participation in city government. And so I'll be encouraging you to focus on those things and kind of and in the 5-minute recaps. Again, every show, Mondays and Thursdays, I'll do a 5-minute recap, and it will be constrained to 5 minutes, just so you know, so that there's no misunderstanding. When I do the show live, and I will be doing these shows live, when I do a show, a 5-minute recap show will not be 5 minutes when I do it live, because I have to have buffer time in the beginning and end of every show. However, about an hour or two after, I will basically cut out the beginning and end buffer so that the show will be 5 minutes. So that just gives you a little focus on that. So you've seen my new name and the name of the show. And that's basically going to be the emphasis. Now, next Monday is Memorial Day, and that I'm not going to be doing a show on Monday. I'm going to do a show on Tuesday morning, and so I'll post that, and it will be the beginning of that new format. It'll be you'll see some new things coming up. Along with the show's new format, I will also be inviting others from the city and maybe even the county to come into the show through either Skyping in or right here in studio, where I'll be interviewing people as well. So there's a lot that's yet to be disclosed and uncovered that I'll be doing a little at a time as the show progresses. And I think that overall, you're going to see you're going to have a resource basically that's not fake news, that's intended to inform and provide you with valuable insight about what's going on in our city. And you can trust that, just like as always, I'll be providing you with some details that you will never see in any other news organization, certainly not in the social media of what we're seeing today with some of the social media sites. So again, consider me a conservative voice, an alternative voice to what you've been hearing and are continuing to hear in the city of McClendon-Chisholm. And at the very least, it gives you the opportunity to consider both sides of every issue. So next Tuesday morning is when I will be doing a recap of the last city council meeting, and there's some things that you need to be aware of. And obviously, I'll be talking a little bit about the effort by Altura Homes, or the developer, to begin their process of taking over Triple Creek, and among other things. So next Tuesday, I'll see you. Please make sure that you unfurl your flags and wave them proudly. As conservatives and as Americans, we have to remember that freedom is not free. It was bought at a price, and we remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for that freedom. So please take time Monday to honor those who served our country and gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. It's worth your time. So until Tuesday, I'll see you. This is Bunker Bob signing out, and look forward to being with you then. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and happy Memorial Day.